Well, welcome. Welcome. We are Rich Casual Business Academy. Today, we have a master class with Abraham, Canadian. Are you Canadian as well? You're fully Canadian?
Yes, fully Canadian.
I love that. So, today I'm excited. We're going to be learning on some crypto. Eddie has talked very highly of you. I'm excited to learn from you today. I know that you guys have been working together for quite some time now. So, really excited to learn. We will open up the calls for any questions at the end if you guys do have questions. But could you just tell us, are you doing slides or do you want just the questions?
Uh, I have I have some websites I'm going to show you guys, and
Awesome. Well, let's get to know you first. So, who is Abraham and how did you get to where you are today?
yes, hello everyone. My name is Abraham Parla. I am 29 years old, live in Ontario, Canada. I started trading I'd say about 3, 4 years ago, for full time. I did construction before that. Didn't want to hurt my body too much, so I wanted to switch up my position, and that's how I kind of got into crypto. And then started studying crypto, and it's been uphill since then. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Starting to get into coaching as well.
Oh, I love that. So you're going to be coaching other people. Do you have a coaching background? Like, did you play sports growing up, or are you just finding that, it's a skill that I'm developing and I want to help other people?
Yeah, so I played sports, all types of sports growing up. Soccer was my favorite. I do have a little bit of Italian background, so that's probably why. So I did coach a couple of soccer teams as well. It's probably why I like helping people. And I just seen so many people get hurt with crypto and then just go in the wrong direction, and I hate seeing it. So I just kind of like guiding people in the right direction, kind of bringing that faith back to them.
I love that. So you talked about doing construction before and then pivoting over to crypto. Was that something that right away you were like, okay, did you kind of dip your toes in it and you were like, let me kind of see what this is about? Or were you like, okay, this is my sign. It's time to pivot in my career. Again, like you're saying, construction is, it can definitely be a fruitful business or career for a lot of people, but like you're saying, it's okay, if I'm feeling this now, imagine in 10, 20, 30 years. So was it kind of a tiptoe, was it a full dive in?
I say definitely a little bit of a tiptoe, and then near the end, just a full dive in. Because what happened was I was working 80 plus hours at the time, a lot of hours, because it was a small company. And then just I ended up tearing my ACL. So then I got the surgery. But before that, I was investing into stocks and not too much crypto, but just like the S&P basic stuff, right? Nothing too crazy. But then I got injured, and then I just went through that whole sign, I guess you could say, just to, okay, you know what, this is the time to maybe pivot into a new direction. And I just had sleepless nights, just went to a deep dive into crypto, put everything together, and I said, you know what, it seems pretty complex, but if you know your things and learn a little bit more, just like everything else, you're gonna go, right?
What was the biggest myth? I know I think a lot of people, there's a lot of fear. I think when something is new, there's always going to be a lot of fear mongering. I actually, believe it or not, I think people don't realize that even on social media is that um, there's like a negative hook. So I do content creation, and I actually just did one for a dog crate, and it has about 1 million views, and the comments are crazy. And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that a dog crate was so controversial, but it is. And so you're going to have, the people that are selling, and you mentioned, um, also pivoting to getting into coaching because you're seeing people get burned or just, again, we had our tax guest speaker last week, and she was like, listen, like the influencer is not coming to court with you guys. Like when you're taking their advice on what they're sharing, they're not there to back you up on what they gave you as advice. What is the biggest myth or the biggest kind of limiting belief that you had getting into the space of crypto, that was maybe could be hindering someone else wanting to get into the space?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of scammers out there, unfortunately, but that's just how the world is right now. But I mean, you just have to kind of weave through the bad players, the bad actors out there, and just kind of get that base for yourself because it's always best to just do your own research, right? You can't just believe any some random guy on the internet. Like it's never gonna go well. But those were definitely like it was kind of hard picking because there are some good influencers out there. They definitely know their stuff. They're pretty solid, and they're pretty transparent too. Like they show you their positions, right? They're not gonna be these guys who just talk the talk. They walk the walk. They show you what they're doing. They tell you how they're doing it, and that's kind of what I'm gonna kind of go through as well today. Just kind of show you kind of how things work.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited because I know Eddie is really well versed when it comes to, gold and silver and crypto and Bitcoin. And I'm just kind of like, I see a lot of people, and I have to tell you, sometimes I had seen a friend post yesterday about the shiny object syndrome
Yep.
and how, again, in social media, there's just everything is flying at us every second. And so you're seeing someone do something, you're like, wait, now they're into crypto and they're into stocks and they're into Bitcoin and go buy this coin and go get that. And I know, uh, I think it was about 2020. I had Eddie had wanted like an Apple Watch, and I was like, "Well, I'll just go buy it for you." And he was like, "No, I got to get stocks in Apple. Like, I'm gonna actually start making sure I have stocks in the things I want first." Um, but is there somebody that inspired you, like, as you're kind of thinking that you want to do it? Was it like someone in social media? Was someone that you trusted that was getting you into it? Who was like kind of the person or area that opened that door for you?
I wouldn't say it was one person. It's just more of just the stories about how you can see an everyday person just make a bunch of money with crypto overnight. And I was just like, you know what? If the opportunity is there, there's got to be something behind it. And then I just put my foot in the door, and that's kind of how it started.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited. I think everybody else, and we'll put the recording, as he mentioned, to our school community. I know everybody's going to be really excited. I'm really excited because I have been seeing a lot of people, even some friends, like they're like, I'm doing day trading now. And I'm like, I don't know if I have. Like Eddie always tells me, you actually don't, I think, have the personality for the lows. You might like the highs, but I don't know if you'll like the lows. But I'm really excited to learn from you. So are you ready to pull up your slides?
Yes, I do want to say first off, just it's not financial advice, specifically for informational and educational purposes only. Um, when it comes to risk, you do have to know your risks, obviously, but there are so many ways to hedge your risks. And you cannot be emotional. If you're an emotional person, when it comes to trading, you cannot be an emotional at all because you'll just tank it. It's not good at all.
Yeah, and I do like how you shared, do your own research. And I think for a lot of people that even get coaches, is we just take what they say. We don't even take it with a grain of salt. We're like, okay, exactly what they did. We don't look at our own situation. We don't look at our own lifestyle. And it's like, and I loved how you put the disclaimer. We always have that as well. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. We always have the disclaimers. You definitely have to have that. But yeah, really excited to learn from you.
Okay, I will go ahead and share my screen. You guys can see this, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, let's see.
There
Yeah,
we go.
perfect. Let me just clean up this dashboard for you a little bit. So this is called TradingView, this platform. Basically, you see these white and blue lines. Each one, they're called candlesticks. So each one represents right now 1 day. So the price action within that day. You go all the way to the 8 hour, even to the 1 second. You can see the price action just move. So this is Bitcoin we're looking at right now. And then you could have your different assets on the side here. This is my crypto tab. So these are all cryptos. This is a really useful platform because you can actually see in a visual order of how Bitcoin actually moves throughout the years. Ignore all these lines right now. I'm sorry, it's a little bit all over the place. Well, you can see from the last cycle, the top all the way to the bottom, red representing the top, this blue line is representing the bottom. These, everything here you see are indicators. So this, let me just, you know what, I'm gonna just delete a bunch of these for you guys. Sorry, I should have cleaned it up a bit. Just kind of, I'll go through it and explain it a bit. So this tool here is called a Fibonacci level. You grab the bottom, sorry, the top of the last cycle, and you bring it all the way down to the bottom. And it will tell you the levels where it's going. So the 20% mark. So if you buy at the bottom, it'll tell you the 20% mark. So if it goes back up here, you're making 20%. It goes all the way up to the top to the 100%. And you could even see the forecast. And it moves very relative to these lines. You can see where support, resistance, right? This is very high key, high level information. Not a lot of people know this, but the traders that use it, they make a lot of money using this because this is basically kind of foreseeing how the markets move and where they're going to go in the future. Now, based off this Fibonacci level, I can see that Bitcoin here could go easily to 154,000 American, topping out about 240,000 this year. I personally think it will probably be in between here, around the 200,000 area. These are all indicators, they're relative strength indexes, meaning it's going to tell you if the market is overbought or oversold. So if the market is overbought, it will be at the top here, telling you that, okay, the market's going to come down a bit because there's not too many buyers. As it comes down, it tells you, well, you know what? There's a lot of buyers now, not a lot of sell orders, so it's going to pick up. So you could kind of trade day to day like that. You could even go down to the 10-minute and swing trade, right? Even day trade. Okay, buy, sell at the top, short the market. Okay, now you're at the bottom. Now you're going to buy along and go up. This is TradingView. It's very complex. If you want to get into it, you could reach out to me. I could coach you because I'll be here for hours talking about it and I don't want to waste too much time on this. As of websites here, this one is called CoinDesk. It tells you all of the news articles happening in real time. And if you actually see here, the Federal Reserve Jerome Powell, he's actually testifying right now. He's actually speaking live. If you want to go here, and you can even watch it here. But it's pretty good because it tells you all of the information about what's going on with the blockchains, different like Bitcoin, even different altcoins. Everything is here. This website is called Crypto Bubbles. Yes, it looks very kiddish, very funny, but it has some pretty good insights here because it tells you from the top 1 to 100 cryptos all the way down to the 1,000. And it tells you basically how they're moving within the day, the hour, the week, the month, the year. So if you look at the year, you could look at these coins, the top 100. Pepe coin here. This is a meme coin, Pepe. It's up 884% for the year so far. That's crazy. Like virtual is up 52x for a year. That's insane. These gains are just, when it comes to crypto, these gains are just absolutely insane. And you definitely don't want to miss out on it. But before jumping in, you definitely want to get to know about it. This is definitely a website I'd definitely save. And then this website here is called, it's on CoinGlass, but this specific chart we're looking at is a liquidation heat map. So before we're getting into the liquidation heat map, there is a trading style called leverage trading. So basically, if you use 10x leverage, if Bitcoin goes up 1%, your asset will go up 10%. Your investment will go up 10%. If it goes down 1%, your investment is going down 10%. You could use all the way up to 100x leverage. I would not go any higher than 10x leverage because otherwise it's way too volatile and you'll get stopped out of your leverage. Basically, this is showing you all the liquidation leverages here. So from 0 to $47 million. So if you go to this yellow mark here, you could see that at $97,860, if Bitcoin goes up to there, about $49 million and 77, they're gonna all that money is gonna get liquidated out of the market because they're shorting the market. So if Bitcoin moves up to that price, since it's going up and they're shorting, they'll get liquidated out of the market just like that. It's kind of crazy. It's a wild market out there. You could use this all the way to the 6 month, and you could see the all the leverages like since August here, 2024. You could just see it all here. It's good information. This website here is called bitcointreasury.net. It tells you which companies, public, private, even countries, when they're buying it. So you could see 4 days ago, Hive Digital, they bought Bitcoin. And if you come down here, it'll tell you the top public companies, MicroStrategy being number one, tells you everything here, how much they bought, what their average price is. If you click on it, you could even see a list of when they bought. So the dates and exactly how much they bought, at how much they bought for, and how much it's worth currently. And if you scroll down on this website, actually, it even shows you ETFs like BlackRock. You see how much BlackRock holds. They hold about 586,000 Bitcoin. That's crazy. It's about $56 million they're holding in Bitcoin. That's just one ETF. And there's a bunch here you could see. And then you can see the private companies, how much they hold, how much it's worth, and even the governments. Like if you look at United States, they're holding about 20 million, just under $20 million worth of Bitcoin, about 198,000 coins. China, United Kingdom, Ukraine, and so on and so forth. This is just a little bit more of a map, just to kind of show it in a different view. Like MicroStrategy is the biggest holder for the public companies. Then it goes to Marathon, and then private, same thing, right? And all the governments on the side, just different visuals. The thing I like about, I'll go back to TradingView because I do want to mention something about this. If you go into TradingView and you go into certain assets like Bitcoin, if you go into all crypto, it'll all be here. The bottom here, you'll see it'll tell you when there's certain events happening, like Fed Chair Powell testimony. It'll tell you the date, the time, right? And it even tells you when the interest rates are going to happen and when he's also going to be speaking. It even tells you more information about inflation rates, tells you the forecast, the previous, and then when it comes out, it'll drop right here, actual. So tomorrow at 8:30, core inflation rate, whatever it drops, it'll tell you right here, month over month, year over year, and so on. And there's different economic indicators telling you what's happening. And you could even go to the economy, like where is it here? US2 money supply. You can even see how much money the Federal Reserve is printing. I'm trying to figure out where it is now. Right here, money M2 supply. So you can see United States money supply M2. So you can see that they're actually printing money right now. And this is month over month. So if we were to measure this from just about 30 days over a month, the states, they have printed over like $8 billion. Like it's insane. These guys are just printing out money like crazy now, and that money is going to get flooded into crypto, into real estate, into stocks. It's gonna trickle into there. You could set it up to any country as well. I have China here. These guys are just printing money nonstop. It's kind of incredible. You could even go into stocks like Tesla. You can see how Tesla's trading. And then at the bottom here as well, if you're coming to stocks, it'll tell you the earnings and revenue. Everything is here. All the information you need is right here. And if you want to go more into financials, it gives you a whole list like this. There's a lot of information on this website. So I'll show just some of my personal favorite cryptos. Obviously, Bitcoin is up there. It's a phenomenal coin. Quant, this is another good one. QNT. Gala, this is a gaming system, like a kind of like a gaming coin, Gala Games. So they're gonna make more, they're gonna introduce the blockchain into gaming. So like that big whole story about how GTA 6, they're gonna introduce a cryptocurrency and then you could actually sell your cars or houses on GTA for real crypto and then you could exchange that into real dollars. It's actually incredible how the gaming sector is moving these days. Filecoin, this is basically this is for storage. So you could look at it as like uh like Apple storage. You could just you could load up your images or your whatever you need, all your documents onto the blockchain, onto Filecoin. GRT, this is like an AI type of play. This is a very good one as well. XRP, of course. This is more of a banker's coin, how this is just basically going to just evolve how money moves around the world. Just take seconds and cost pennies. It's incredible. Render is also AI, and they actually have big partnerships. They're actually partnering with Apple as well right now. ApeCoin is a little bit more risky, but this is one of my favorite ones. If you haven't heard of Bored Ape Club, it's basically Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's basically kind of like an NFT type of play, but it has some intrinsic value because if you have a certain amount of ape coin, or if you hold an ape, a certain type of ape NFT, you could get invited to this yacht party that they have every once in a while. It's kind of sporadic. They had a couple in the previous years. They haven't done one this year, but in those parties, you get to network with different people. Like Stephen Curry, he went to what he has an ape. He went to that yacht club. There's a bunch of different celebrities, so there's like different unique ways to use these coins, right? They have different intrinsic values. It's kind of interesting. H bar is pretty good as well. Near protocol, this is an AI. Solana. Actually, if you go into Solana, a lot of people are making their meme coins just like Trump through Solana. Actually, let me pull up Trump coin because Trump coin is funny because it ran up all the way to $77 and then just tanked down to about 15 bucks where it is now. And a lot of people would look at this chart and they would see, well, you know what? It ran up and came all the way down. You know what? Like maybe I should stay away from it because it's just going down. But if you're thinking about it, Trump, he was very smart releasing this coin because you can't release a coin when he's actually the president. So he actually releases just before he got inaugurated. So he's actually very smart when it comes to crypto because he knows what he's doing. But he holds about 80% of this circulation. So he's holding about 80%. And he hasn't sold his where he disclosed, but I don't know 100% for fact if he sold or not. And then there's Melania Trump. He made a meme coin for his wife. It's pretty funny. I believe that Trump coin will do well. I mean, it could go from $15 to 124, looking up at the Fibonacci levels, all the way up to $323. Maybe not this year, but maybe next cycle. Does anyone have any questions right now so far?
I have a
I
question. Oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Rich. No, you go ahead.
My question is, we hear a lot about diversifying your income, diversifying your portfolio. How important do you think it is to diversify when it does come to like crypto and stocks in the space?
It's definitely important because you don't want to be sitting on one thing, and just in case a black swan event happens within that specific token or asset, you could get wiped out like that. So obviously it is very important to diversify.
And then I have one other question. So I remember kind of growing up, we would only watch movies on stock markets and, Black Wall Street and stuff like that. And or you would hear like trust fund kids and just stocks just seem so far away from, let's say, like your everyday person. And then I feel like there was a shift and everybody's like, wait. And one thing I kind of learned was actually you don't need a lot to invest. And I think that's kind of a misconception is that you need tons of money to, buy your first stock or to get into the stock market. What would you suggest to someone just starting out? So they're just kind of, they're like, I want to start doing this. Where would somebody start to even understand this? Or just, would they get into stocks first? Do you suggest you buy both? What do you suggest there?
Yes. So there is a couple exchanges now that offer fractional buying, so you don't have to buy the full share. You could put in whatever, say if you want to buy a Apple stock and it's over $100, you could put in $10, whatever you want. They offer fractional sharing, which is really good now because then anyone can get into the market with any asset. And to start off, I'd say buy crypto and buy stocks. Definitely, if you're just starting off, have a little bit more capital in stocks just because it is a little bit more safer and definitely a lot less volatile. And just kind of play with it yourself. There's leverage trading. I would, if you want to go advanced, definitely go onto YouTube, go onto ChatGPT, go onto all these resources that you have, and just kind of research about leverage trading. There's different websites for it as well. My favorite one is KuCoin. It's a very good platform to use for leverage trading.
Do you think it's really important to have, so like I've learned kind of just for me, again, talking about like being somebody that maybe couldn't stomach the ups and downs of day trading or anything like that. How important is it to kind of have your goals when it comes to this? So I hear a lot like long-term hold, like you have to, you are going to see the up and down, but are you holding this for the long term? I think, again, knowing your goals. So like, for me, it's like I do have a stock account, but I don't look at it like, oh, okay, I got it, I could cash out. I'm just kind of like, I don't really, I'm okay because I know I'm holding it for the long term. But how would you help somebody define what their goals are in this space, whether it is, maybe getting into day trading? Because I think, like you said, there's a lot of fake information out there that's being sold, and you can kind of like, again, that shiny object, and you're like, oh, I'm going to make 10,000. And um, how important is it to have goals around getting into this space?
Yeah, it's definitely very important before entering a trade, knowing how much you want to make from it or how much you're willing to lose from it as well. I mean, there's you could set up a thing called stop loss and a take profit, meaning if the asset reaches a certain percentage, then automatically it'll sell your position and you'll take that profit. Just so if it does come back down, you won't miss that those capital gains. And the same thing when it comes down, if you set a stop loss, if it goes down, let's say 15%, and you set your stop loss at 15%, as soon as it goes down 15%, the market will sell. And then you limit your losses like that.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead, Eddie.
A fantastic presentation. I love anything data, so I'm on TradingView. So on your TradingView, is that TradingView Pro for all the people who may be beginners?
Yes, so there is different tiers of Trading Pro. The beginning, the basic is free. You can only use so many indicators, like I was showing you a bunch of indicators there. So I have the premium version, which allows me to use a lot more indicators and just basically you could use the lower time frames like the 1 second. You on the basic version, you cannot use the 1 second. But I mean, if you're not day trading, it's not really relevant.
Yeah. I also use crypto bubbles too, and it just looks cool, right? So it makes you want to get in there and make money. Rachel always sees it on my screen, and even my kids, they're like, "Oh, that looks cool." But a question I had was, how would someone have a conversation with their spouse to get them on board with investing in crypto?
Hmm. I I would I would honestly advise hiring a coach or just even if you see an influencer, just kind of showing them because just kind of showing them what they do in the past, like what they currently do, and just kind of how everything works. Because there is a lot of data behind crypto. Like I just showed you a lot of data. It's a lot to take in, but just gradually, slowly go into it, and just teach them slowly as well and then as well as yourself.
Right. Nice. Thought Rach is gonna
What
unmute.
is a like suggested beginner platform? So I know there's like Robinhood or there's like, do you have a
Yes.
platform that you're like, I would start here. This is where I would kind of start.
Well, there is one. It's called Wealth Simple. It's in Canada and the States.
Well, simple.
Wealth Simple,
Okay,
and it's in the name. It's very simple to use, very simple to set up. Everything is right there in front of you, and it just you could even call them and go through everything. They're very supportive online as well.
that's awesome.
So
Uh,
if a beginner is looking to start investing in the crypto space, obviously we're gonna have them connected with you. How would they find these meme coins?
there is a vast amount of, of websites out there. Um, I'll have to go a little bit deeper into my sidebars, but I won't do that right now. But I could drop some maybe into the community. I'll definitely share some in the community as well. Some websites to help you out with that.
Nice.
Do you think there's amount too little? So again, I think the narrative around, I've talked to friends and they're like, I just don't have money to put into stocks or investments and things like that. Do you think that there is a low amount? Like one thing Eddie always says to me is like invest in what you use and love. Like those are the products that you should invest in and or the stocks that you should invest in. But do you feel that again for maybe a beginner or just somebody that's new to the space and they're like, listen, I have $100, I want to just, I want to again dip my toes and see what this could do. Do you think that that is like a myth or a limiting belief that people have, is that they don't have enough to get into this space?
Well, like we said before, there it is a little bit different times now because there is fractional buying. When it comes to beginning and dipping your toes into it, I definitely say don't go full on head into a specific asset. I'd say go into an index just to start off, like the S&P 500, because then you're getting the broader selection of the economy and all of the companies. And the good thing about the S&P 500 is that it's always moving, taking out all the old players that can't keep up and putting in the new players with it's always moving for you. So that way you don't actually actively have to manage your portfolio yourself.
So for the community, can you tell them without being, without going into specific amounts, but what other areas are you invested in?
Besides crypto, or
Yeah, besides crypto.
yeah, so I'm mainly in crypto and stocks. I'm starting to get into real estate, but before I am trying to get my foot in the door, just the timing of certain things and where I want to start off and everything like that. But I definitely I'm going into. I think you should definitely pair crypto, stocks, and real estate. There is definitely cycles between everyone, between all of them, and you could kind of flow your capital between them all.
So I did want to share something really quick. I'm going to share my screen in just a second, just to give everybody kind of an idea of what crypto looks like, and we'll just do the S&P and Bitcoin. Let's do yearly. All right, I'm going to share my screen really quick. So this is the American Precious Metals Exchange, and this gives you a graph of gold versus S&P 500 versus the US dollar versus Bitcoin. I like to show this just to give people an exposure of to the type of risk and reward they'll take. So as maybe you do or you do not know, the US dollar devalues every minute. Every second they press print and print more money, you're losing money. Um, the Fed controls a lot of that. Trump can go and make us, say a couple things, and the U.S. economy is on a rebound. But I like to look at this graph just to give people perspective of, what is going on and how to diversify your portfolio. For myself, Rachel and I, and we hold gold and crypto. We hold real estate, and let's see, we got some XRP in that crypto wallet. Did I mention? I think I said precious metals, and we try to not have any cash sitting on the sideline, just because, as you can see, the black line is just kind of running sideways. But the sideways is like in a downward motion. So if we can have our money kind of at work for us, it's not just sitting there being devalued. But I think this one, I always like to show this one just to show a comparison of, what Bitcoin or the crypto market can do. I know a lot of people are fearful, but I think the biggest fear is just having your money sitting under your mattress and be devalued.
That's
I'm gonna stop this share real quick.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think the biggest, like you both are saying, is getting the right education, right? It's such a gift and it's such a good tool that can really change the prosperity for a lot of families. But I think because, again, we do see the social media and we see like it almost seems too good to be true, or, you see people doing it and then now they're not doing it, or just again, how important it is to find, someone like you, Abraham, that you can work with that actually, they're legit and they're doing this and they can guide you in doing it correctly because um, there's a lot of ignorance around it, and I think when we can get past that, and like Eddie's saying, like you'll leave your money in a bank account that's getting a point 0.1 dividend, or under the mattress and those things, but then you don't realize, like, and even just talking to a lot of clients, like, oh, I just don't have money to invest, and then you're like, wait, if you actually, let's do a lifestyle analysis, and if we just adjust this little bit right here, you're like, wait, you could. And then again, you do look at like the long term holding, or for those that, like, I know for you too, for me, when I look at those graphs, I'm like, wow, I like the candlestick. I loved your presentation. I do love the bubble page. That's probably my favorite. Like when he has it on his screen, I'm like, ooh, that one got really big. And what's that one? And but I definitely think it's a skill set, but I think anybody can learn the skill set if you have the right goals and stuff like that. So really, I am excited to actually learn a little bit more too.
I would like to add, there is a 4-year cycle they like to say in crypto, meaning there is the parabolic phase, which is actually 2025 this year. So things are expected to go crazy from now to the end of the year. And there will be pullbacks. There's always healthy pullbacks in the market. And that's just because people will be taking a little bit of profits off the table. That's just how markets are, right? And then after the parabolic phase, it goes down to the bear market, comes very, very low. Everyone gets scared. Everyone gets shaken out of the market. Oh my God, everyone's panic selling. And that's what causes it to go even lower. And then there's the accumulation year, the third year, or sorry, the second year. Well, first, second, third, sorry. And then it will kind of stay stagnant near the bottom. won't really move too much. They will stay flat. And then there's the Bitcoin halving cycle, meaning that every time Bitcoin gets mined, every 4 years, the supply of that miner will get cut in half. So half of that supply will be getting out into the world, which is causing more scarcity into the market. And after that Bitcoin halving cycle is the parabolic phase. So last year, 2024, that was the halving cycle. So the supply got chopped in half, causing more scarcity, which causes the parabolic phase. And just even knowing that information about the cycles and kind of how the direction they move in, it could actually save you a lot, because if you were to buy towards the end of this year, at the top, you're buying the top. And if you didn't know that information, then you just get sucked down to the bottom, and then you're just panicking, and then you just end up losing all of your money. But the thing is, there's a thing around that as well. It is going to take a little bit of time, but there's a thing called tax law harvesting. I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with that. Basically, if you have an investment in stocks or crypto and you sell at a loss, you could actually use that loss towards your capital gains in the future. So you could actually minimize your potential taxes. So if you just hold without that within that period, it'll actually benefit you as well.
So I got a question. I'm looking on my screen and Bitcoin is at 96,000. Um, and I would say for a beginner, and I would even put Rachel in this category, someone who's like a beginner. She's probably knows crypto because of me, and I'm telling her, do this, do that. She would look at Bitcoin and go, wow, I don't want to spend 96,000, or maybe I don't have 96,000. Is there any other alternatives to fractional sharing, meaning like maybe a person should be looking at a coin that doesn't have such a high entry point?
Yeah, there's definitely a tremendous amount of different altcoins that are very low price points, and as well as low market caps. And when you're looking at getting into these cryptos, you should be looking at everything: the circulating supply, the max supply when they're gonna, like, how much they're gonna release, the tokenomics of these things, and even where it's at currently in the market. So if you're seeing that, okay, this coin had a market cap of, let's just say, $1 trillion, and now it's sitting at around 500 billion. So it's down about 50%. So maybe it's a good time to enter, depending where you are within the cycles.
Nice. And one thing I always emphasize, well, first of all, this is for entertainment purposes. Please don't take anything we say as financial advice and go out and buy, 100 Bitcoin at the high or XRP. Do your own due diligence as always. You can always reach out to Abraham. We're going to put his contact information in the chat so you can reach out to him. But I would advise one-on-one coaching like I always do. I like to say, I love sports references. I like to say, if you're a softball player or a baseball player and you're good at fastballs, you're naturally good at fastballs, he's going to teach you how to throw a changeup, right? So you do need to find that expert in your sport to coach you up in the areas that to have the deficiency. Okay, so the question a lot of people want to know is, how much can someone make doing crypto, or having a crypto portfolio?
Ooh, you could make anywhere from 100% within a couple of days to about 10,000%. Like it's very crazy the amount you can make. It's insane, especially if you're using leverage as well. Because let's say, like I said before, if Bitcoin goes up 100%, but using 2x leverage, now you're making 200%. And if you use 10x leverage, right? So you could always adjust it as well, but you can make a tremendous amount. Like it's insane. You're gonna go, once you actually do your own research and you realize how much money you're gonna make. You're not gonna sleep that night, because you're just gonna, why haven't I done this before? I'm telling you guys, it is insane. The opportunity that is in front of us right now, especially where we are in the market, it's a very good time to dip your toes into it.
Nice. Okay, and what is one of the regrets you've experienced regarding crypto or anything in the finance market?
So when I first started, I was a very emotional trader. And that definitely hurts your bank for sure because it's hard to look at the numbers. If you're down 30%, if you can't fathom that, then you're gonna sell, and then the next day it goes up 20% back to where it was. It just definitely take emotions off the table. That's the number one lesson I would say. Just if you're gonna put money in, just just look at it, just set it and forget it. Just set it and forget it. Have peace of mind. Go have a coffee. Go for a walk. If your position is down 30-40%, go for a walk with your dog. Go for a walk with your kids. Do something else. Take your mind off of it.
I gotta highlight my co-owner and wife, Rachel. So a couple weeks ago, Bitcoin, I think about a month ago, Bitcoin hit the all-time high. I think like 107 or something at the time. And then like a few days later, it went to 100,000 or 90, 98-ish or something. And she calls me from Canada and she's like, my Bitcoin's down. Should I sell it? Now, keep in mind, I'm going to expose you, Rachel. This lady is up like 167%, or she's still in the green. But what I told her is, a lot of people are experiencing that, especially people who aren't in crypto or, have a background in, finances or understanding the market, that when they see those all-time highs, and then obviously people are taking profit, which they should. They're taking profit at the all-time high, which is going to cause the price to go down. The average person wants to panic sell. And I told her, sit there and do nothing. You're doing very well. So one thing I just, if you're watching this video, is a lot of this is about mitigating risk and controlling your emotions, just like Abraham said. I see positives, and even sometimes I want to click sell, but I do know that my goals are long-term hold, right? And I'm also investing capital that I don't immediately need. So that's one tip that I would give you guys is, if you're going into any type of space, crypto, real estate, gold, you want to invest capital that you don't need right away, because there is the chance that, you're going to buy in. And if you're not doing your due diligence, you might buy in at the wrong timing, right? And you might immediately see, 5% drops. So yeah, so always have that financial goal, always have that goal of, that long-term goal. And your long-term goal can be, for some people it's a year, for some people it's 90 days, for some people it's 10, 15 years. They want to grow a massive portfolio. Maybe you have, children. Maybe you just want to build a legacy. So last thing I have, well, I got like 8 things, but I got a crypto ledger right here. Can you explain to people what's the difference from, this cold storage wallet versus like buying it on your phone on Coinbase?
Yes. So that little device there holds all your crypto, and only you control it. Unfortunately, if you do lose it, then you lose your crypto. But that's why you got to take care of it. But if you leave it on an exchange, I don't know if you guys heard of the whole FTX crash a couple years ago. Basically, the exchange was kind of fraudulent. They took people's money, billions of dollars was lost, and just like that, you could lose all your money if you keep your money on an exchange. So it's kind of like a safe haven to have that little memory stick.
Awesome. So I think that's going to wrap up the call. Did you want to add anything else, Rach, or anyone else want to add? I see in the chat, I see Zachary typed in Dex Screener is a great platform to use. So we'll definitely put that in the comments.
Yes, that's a pretty good website for meme coins as well.
Nice.
Does anyone have any questions? Anybody that's on the call, if you want to unmute and ask, go ahead and unmute. And how did we share how we're going to get in contact with him? You're going to drop that information, Eddie?
How would you like people to get in contact with you?
Uh, I'd say send me a DM on Instagram or an email. I could.
Can you drop your Instagram in the chat for
Yeah.
us? And then in the school community, you said you're going to drop a couple, I think, coins or something.
Yes, I will share some websites. So the first one is my personal page, and then the second one is
Perfect.
for crypto.
Okay,
Excellent.
Investor Lane. Okay, I'll follow that. I've been seeing that. I didn't know if that was yours or okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I gotta promote that a little bit better.
Just followed it. All right. Last question. When are you coming back to California or America?
Yeah, I might go to Vegas pretty soon. A buddy of mine invited me there, but maybe we'll make a trip to LA as well.
Well, I'm a 40-minute flight from Vegas, so make sure you let me know. We'll grab dinner. We love Vegas. And it's an easy car ride too. So yeah, keep us posted. Yeah, you want to close the call down, Rach?
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Abraham. I'm excited to take what you taught us today. And again, we will drop in the school community his Instagram where you guys can get in contact with him to learn more and get coaching access as well. I'm excited to hear people and just your success. I know Eddie's been sharing just how great you've been doing. So that's awesome. And we do have a school community. Do you want to share the screen really quick?
Yeah, let's
So
see.
we do open these calls up to the public, but we do also have a school community. You can also find us on Instagram at Rich Casual. We have a new Instagram page. And here's our school community. So we cover everything from mindset, health, and wealth. As you guys know or don't know, I've actually been a wellness coach for over a decade. So your health is your greatest wealth. We also go over understanding money, branding. So from the marketing side, branding, um, building your foundation. So making sure that you're building on a rock and not on sand. We have lifestyle analysis. We have business banking, business funding, business credit, business travel, one-on-one coaching, everything that you need to have a successful business. And it is Rich Casual Business Academy. They do offer a 7-day free trial, so you can check that out as well. But thank you again, Abraham, for hopping on our call today. And we will see you guys on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.